Hi, everybody. This is Carla. Welcome to the Quacking Genes. I have started this series because I've gotten several requests to do so. And so I've decided to go ahead and make the series. This is just the first of many, many videos to come. This is teaching you how to trace your genealogy or your family tree using only free resources. So I am excited about sharing this with you, and I will be having classes on PayHip, so you can take classes if you so choose. They'll be super affordable. I'm going to be teaching you through YouTube, so of course that's free. Maybe start a Patreon, just depends on how this stuff goes. But this is just the first of many videos. So I'm glad you're here. Again, we're going to talk about today. I think it's important first to know how to start your family tree. You may know information about your family and you won't need to look things up right away, but you don't even know where to put the information that you know. So let's go ahead and get started. When I build my family tree, the only site I use is wikitree.com. I have done genealogy since I've been probably 17 years old, and I'm not even going to tell you how old I am. But I've been doing genealogy for decades, and I have used familysearch.org. We're going to talk about that a little later in another video. I've used ancestry.com, and I'll talk about that in a different video. And I've used all different kinds of places, MyHeritage. And the problem with those sites, especially places like Ancestry and MyHeritage, there's nothing wrong with those sites, but you have to pay to use those sites, and you have to pay to access your information that you've put on there. If you go later on in your genealogy and you put pictures or records or all of those things and you add those on there, you have to pay to be able to see those, even though you are the one who put those records on there. And so I find that very frustrating. And WikiTree allows you to make a family tree for free. You can add all of the records that you want for free, and it will always be free. It's been around for probably 16 or 17 years, and that's what they talk about. It is a free place for you to build your family tree. So when you go to wikitree.com, this is what the page looks like. And you see the little login button there. To talk about WikiTree for just a minute, we have to discuss the importance of what WikiTree's values are. And the biggest things that they focus on is accuracy and having one family tree, one huge family tree. So for me, there is only one Carla on WikiTree. And they only want one Carla on that WikiTree. It doesn't matter if I'm doing my family tree or if my sister's doing a family tree or my cousin's doing the family tree. We're all working on the same exact family tree. When you go to places like MyHeritage, Ancestry, any of the other sites for that matter, there are multiple trees. And they have those too on WikiTree, but they try to limit that. For example, when you add a new profile, and I'll talk about that in a little bit in this video. When you add a profile on WikiTree and you add the information, their name, birth date, death date, a whole list of people will pop up as possible matches for your person. It may say there are no matches, but most of the time there's going to be people that match. And you have to know the information to at least say, no, these people aren't matches, and you can mark them off. If they're super close, you want to mark them out. There's a little button you can click to mark that individual out to say, this is a similar person, but I know with 100% certainty they are not the same person. But WikiTree tries very hard to only post accurate information, meaning you have references, records, obituaries, pictures of tombstones, census records, death records, birth records, etc. They want referenced documentation. And the only time they don't expect that documentation is when the person is a living person, and they allow you to keep living people's information very private. And we're going to talk about that in this video as well. So this is what the login page looks like. You're going to click login and you're going to create a new account. So you're going to create your account with WikiTree. You're going to join the community and you're going to follow all of those prompts. And then you are going to, like I said, click create new account. And when you do that, they're going to tell you, thank you so much. Welcome to WikiTree. We need you to register your email. And you will then go to your email account that you used and verify that you did in fact make a WikiTree account. WikiTree has multiple options that you can use. You can be a guest where you just look around and see what you can find out about your own family. You can ask questions on the genealogy form that they have there. You can have your own profile. You can then be, the second option is to be a family member where you can add close relatives, family members and such that are very close to you. And it lists what the benefits are there. When you click on it and it goes through, I know it's very small on these slides, but there's so much information on each of them. I wanted to squeeze it in, and you can expand those slides if you need to see them, pause it and make a screenshot and blow it up a little bit. But basically, the last option that they have is the Wiki Genealogist, and that gives you the most access to the site. You can add unlimited people to your family tree. Again, all of these memberships are free. You don't pay for anything. It's 100% free. They just want you to sign an honor conduct, an honor code that says that you are going to take it seriously, that your information is going to be accurate, and that you're only going to have one human with that person, that one person. You try to match people up and correct errors, and you work as a team and as a whole team on one tree to bring the genealogists together. And that's what you're signing when you sign that honor code. And then you have a genealogist sponsor you, and all you do is say, yes, I'm signing the honor code, and they say congratulations. And then they are your source. If you need or have any questions, they will become your resource and you can ask them. But you can always go to the G2G or the genealogist to genealogist forum and ask your question there, and you will get lots of answers. You can always ask questions or post comments in the link in the comments below, and I will also follow back with you. After you verify your email address, you're going to get a thing that says set up your preferences. And this is what the screen looks like. And basically it says who can see your information, what you want to do on this site. If you've taken a DNA test, the first two things are mandatory, but the last two things are optional. If you've taken a DNA test, do you want to post that information on WikiTree? And you can edit those at any time. So even if you don't have a DNA test right now and you really enjoy this and you're like, hey, I want to take a genealogy DNA test, you can then upload that information onto WikiTree, and it helps find cousins that way as well. So don't worry about it. You can change those preferences anytime you feel like it. And then up here is a little spot called My WikiTree. In that right upper hand corner, you will see a little click box right next to your profile. The profile here is blacked out. In that upper right hand corner, it will be your last name followed by a dash followed by a number. That is your profile. And then next to that, you will see a thing that says My WikiTree. When you click on that, it's going to bring you to your navigation page. That's what this is right here. And your navigation page will have the little My WikiTree logo up at the place up at the top, along with your family tree, just taking you to your grandparents here. And you can see that the person that's added this tree is blacked out, and they don't have any other information yet because they're starting a new tree. This is going to be you, right? And so you would then be able to add your mother or father or your grandparents if you don't know your parents, or whatever information that you have. It's very important that when you do set up your account, though, that you use your real name at birth. Okay, I did not mention that, and I should have, and I apologize. You want to use your real birth name when you make that account. last name, especially your last name. So anyway, you're going to be able to add your person there. You can add, in this case, we're going to add unknown mother. Okay, we're going to click unknown mother. We know who our mother is, so we are going to click unknown mother. And it's going to bring this up. Edit the mother of, in this case, it will be you. And you're going to put all of the information that you know. If your mother is still living, this is extremely important. You want to say blank for privacy, blank for additional privacy because they're still living. These two little dots right here, you want to click those and keep as much information private as possible when someone's living. Now, when you add a living person to WikiTree, only you will be able to see that information and anyone that you've added to your trusted list. Okay. If you click on a link and it says the person is living, it may pop up and tell you you are not a member of the trusted list. Please email the profile person, the profile owner, to be added to the trusted list. And you can email the individual and be added to their trusted list, but you have to say why you want to be added to their trusted list. I believe that this person that is here is my mother. If this is the person, my mother's name is Jeannie, and I believe and she was born in this year. And if this is your person, I would like you to add me to the trusted list. If not, I am sorry I bothered you, or whatever you want to say. So in this situation, we're going to add my mother, and we're going to click through, and then you want to make sure that you put the sex at birth. It will make you. So make sure you put that in there. If you do have a person that is living, it will ask for your email address. You can skip it, but if you want people to be able to reach you, you need to put in your email address. And then after you do that, you will get a box and it'll say references, sources. Okay. You will see something that says sources. And I put an example. This person is my mother and she is still living. That is a personal source. You are saying you personally know this person and she is still living. Or if the person is deceased, you can say, here is a link. It can be from an obituary, from a funeral home site. It can be a record from familysearch.org. We'll talk about that in another video, but you have to have some sort of source into why you're adding this person to WikiTree. Okay. And then down here, you will then see, once you click proceed to create a new profile, it will pop back up to that same box you just already had up, and it gives you a chance to double check your information. Okay. And that's what you're going to do. And you can add birth dates, death places, birthplaces, burial places, all of those things. And it gives you an opportunity to type in something in the biography section. And you want to do that. You want to click. As a matter of fact, it turns orange. It tells you have to type in the biography section. In this case, I don't want people to know that much about my mother. It just says Jeannie is still living. And that is it. Okay. It says my mother is still living, and I'm not going to post any information about her for that reason. So you have to put something in the biography spot. In this case, I typed that already. You noticed when we were at the other screen, I typed that information here in that source box. And so when I come here to this orange box, I have to at least type a space. So I would go in there, type a space, and then down at the bottom, you are going to see a red box that you have to type in. You have to say what you're doing here. Are you adding and are you fixing typos? Are you adding changes from a new source, which is what you're doing here because this person isn't listed on WikiTree yet. And so you're adding changes from a new source. So you will click whatever it is. Maybe you're just fixing the biography, or you're adding a resource that you found along your journey. And so you would say adding resources, selecting you're improving the biography. So whatever it is, you're going to click that, and then that full save will pop green and you will click that. And when you do that, this will then save the profile, and there you have it. This is what the profile looks like. Okay, you can see that you can now edit the profile. It'll say Jeannie's profile, and it'll have their last name. And it will give them a number just like you have. So that it'll be their last name dash and a number. And you can edit it. You can add images. And then here it's going to say, Jeannie so-and-so. She was born on this date and time. If the person is deceased, feel free to add that information if you want it on there. If they're recently deceased, you don't have to. But if they're deceased, you can add it. You can then say that she is the daughter of so-and-so, and you can actually click father. And then you can add Jeannie's father's information, your grandfather's information. You can click Jeannie's mother and add her mother's information. Any siblings, you can do that as well. And children, you can add all of that information right here, and you can continue to click, click, click. And when you're done, if you go back to My WikiTree, that one that I talked about in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you will then be going back to that screen where it had your mother and grandparents. And it'll take you right back to that screen. Every single time you log on, it will bring you back here to your navigation page. So when you log in, you will come here. This is where you will land, and you can go work your way back in whatever area you're working on. So that pretty much sums up wikitree.com and how to start a family tree, so you can at least start getting your information down so you know what resources you need. You can start tracking dates, adding those in, and putting in as much information as possible to build a very strong family tree that you can add to throughout the years, and you can invite your family to join in, and you can go from there. So congratulations, you have just started your family tree. Feel free to watch this video and pause it and go through WikiTree along with me and set up a new account. And again, add your comments, add your questions. I will look at those and see what I can do to help you. Again, there's going to be some classes at payhip.com/the quacking quail. I also have a Kindle, so I do post some things about my Kindle there. And then I also have the YouTube channel that you're well aware of, because that's how you found me. So I do hope that you choose to follow along. Again, questions and comments are welcome. I will be doing some live sessions at some point where I will help you trace your family tree. We can work on some brick walls that you may run into, and you will run into brick walls. If you've taken a DNA test in the future, I hope to be answering questions about your DNA and making connections that way. And I will actually be sharing some of my information that I work on to see if I can track some cousins down using genealogy DNA. So I'm looking forward to this series. If you have any questions, please note them below, follow along, and I will see you soon.